Hey, what is up, mortals? It is TCCrew here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 3 of season 1 of What If Deku Had 3 Wishes. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So we begin. 2 weeks is a long time to be anxious for. But when had that ever stopped Izuku? The teen was currently too lost in his own head to realize that he was staring at a dead fish. His mother realized. She was concerned. But in the end, it was only one fish, and the tension was soon broken when the mail arrived. This day carrying a particularly anticipated letter. So, cue Izuku dashing up the stairs to open his UA acceptance letter. Izuku ripped open the oddly heavy envelope, dropping a metallic disc to the top of his desk. Izuku stared at the disc as it lit up blue and projected a hologram onto the air above it.
Yes, my boy! Booyah! I am here as a projection now!
Izuku yelped in surprise. He had expected an actual letter.
My apologies on not contacting you sooner, my boy, but it would have been unfair to the other students to tell you your results early. And I probably would have been too excited to not tell you the moment I saw you. Also, there has been a lot of paperwork to do in preparation for the school year. Oh, wait, I don't think I told you. Well, I'll do it now. I am in fact teaching at UA this year. So look forward to your heroics classes.
There was a pause and a voice off screen.
What? Oh, wrap it up quickly. How many more of these? Oh, actually, that makes sense. Sorry. Yes, well, on to your actual performance. You did quite well, really. Your final count was 28 combat points. And with all of those done without the use of an offensive quirk, your ingenuity caught the attention of a few judges. However, it would be remiss of us to only test students on pure combat ability. For that, we have rescue points, and that is where most of your count comes from. Your assistance rendered throughout the exam, and your valor and altruism is saving the girl from the zero-pointer, has gained you an accumulated 76 rescue points, putting you in solid first place. And if you're curious, the girl has also passed. As for her plays, you can check on our trademarked really big and mighty scoreboard.
It actually was an All Might-sized scoreboard, showing Izuku was indeed in first place with 105 points. But his initial excitement faded as he saw something very concerning. Namely, Katsuki Bakugo sitting in second place with 77 villain and 0 rescue points. Oh dear.
Congratulations, my boy! This is your first step. Welcome to Hero Academia!
There was much fear, but also celebration, as Izuku told his mother, and she once again became responsible for a flash flood. There was much Kutsudan. The day came and went, and soon enough Izuku was back at school. Basically just like any other day, but with significantly more analyzing stares from a certain blonde-haired student. Near the end of the day, Izuku was called to the principal's office for congratulations, apparently, alongside Bakugo. Well, this was going to happen sometime. The principal kept it short, at least. He was quite excited that 2 students from his school had managed to get into UA. He also expressed his surprise that Izuku was able to achieve first place, despite being quirkless as far as he knew. Izuku hadn't really advertised his new power. It wasn't exactly obvious unless he was attacked anyway. And since the currently fuming Bakugo had laid off of him after the Slimeville incident, there wasn't much point in activating it outside the few times that he managed to see classmates wind up to throw something at him. But right now, Bakugo was irate, obviously internalizing Izuku's achievement badly. Izuku gulped as the principal dismissed the 2. The boys walked out of the office in silence, tense silence. Until, they walked out of the doors, and Bakugo quickly and aggressively forced Izuku into a nearby boundary wall, holding him there.
Alright, nerd, spell it! How the hell did you get in, Deku? Who do you have to bribe? A quirkless nobody couldn't have passed that test.
Bribe?
How did you beat me?
The blonde boy was obviously conflicted.
Kachan?
You're supposed to be a stepping stone, a pebble in my path. A weak, quirkless, useless Deku. So, how?
He was actually asking. He actually wanted an explanation, not just to yell. That was interesting. Well, there was really only one thing to do. Think on the fly and get punched in the face.
Hit me!
What?
Hit me, Kachan! Use your quirk! I don't care, just hit me!
Angry and with an invitation, Katsuki sent an open, sparking palm straight at the side of Izuku's head. The explosion sent nearby dusts and pebbles flying. A trail of smoke projected from Izuku's head. The anger passing, a flash of regret and fear across Bakugo's face, followed by a plain shock as the smoke and dust cleared and he could see the flaring energy field of swirls and hexagonal shapes that made up the form-fitting force field of Izuku's quirk, antagonist.
What the hell?
Will you let me explain?
What?
Will you let me explain, or are you going to jump to your own conclusions and yell at me?
Bakugo wanted to yell. He wanted to scream more. He wanted to hit Izuku again and again until the shield broke.
Explain.
I developed this quirk about 10 months ago.
What? You been hiding?
Bakugo couldn't finish the sentence. The gears were turning in his head. He remembered. He thought it was odd. He thought he was seeing things at the time. When he glanced over at Izuku while their classmates or his lackeys were trying to get a rise out of him, sometimes he'd see it. Just a minute flash of green light. He hadn't been hiding it.
No, I haven't been hiding anything. The quirk, I've called it antagonist.
Izuku would have to fudge the truth a little. He didn't want to tell Bakugo about the genie lamp he was hiding under his bed. Not yet, certainly.
It only works when I'm being attacked by someone I know of.
That was a little on the nose, but it was inaccurate. He did, however, send a well-deserved shot of guilt and regret up Bakugo's spine.
I need to designate a person as a target, or an antagonist, for it to take effect and shield me from them. I used it in an exam. I protected myself against the strongest opponents, and then charged in, targeting the weakest spots on the robots.
There were weak spots?
Not everyone can rip through aluminum like paper, Kachan. You're amazing. Especially in combat. The joints and certain spots on the back. But that's not where most of my points came from. I was helping people in trouble throughout the exam, Kachan. They gave you points for helping, for rescuing people, like a hero.
A hero is someone who always wins, Deku. Like All Might, a hero stops villains.
A hero protects those who cannot protect themselves, Kachan. All Might has always said that. That includes stopping the villains, but it also is stopping to make sure people are okay.
Bakugo nearly stopped thinking at that.
I need to go home, Kachan.
Bakugo relaxed his arm, letting Izuku slide out from him. Bakugo was still short-circuiting at the time, but there was one thing that was clear.
Deku!
Izuku stopped.
I'm going to beat you. I will be number one. I will surpass you. You're just one of my hurdles.
Izuku turned to look back at the fury, determination, and anger in his childhood friend.
Somehow, Kachan, I expect that you're going to have plenty of opportunities.
Katsuki Bakugo had always maintained that it was his origin story to be the only one to lift himself up from his low-quality school and get into UA, the best one in the country. Well, every origin needs a rival, now doesn't it? This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty and hackers could exploit you. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the research of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2 or 3 or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia, Naruto, and many others on your favorite streaming services with just a press of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying for 2 years at $3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Later that day, Izuku found himself running laps on the beach with a normal-sized All Might. The hero was wearing a large hat in an attempt to hide his hair now that his base form looked much more like his muscle form. It was mostly working, at least. The two ran several more kilometers worth of laps before Izuku reached his limit. He had been trying to go plus ultra. He ended up face planting in the sand after tripping over his foot. He had progressed a long way, but the stronger he gets, the more he tries to break his limits. That would normally be good, in All Might's opinion, but the boy's determination often led him to working to exhaust and potentially harm his muscles instead of helping them. Either way, Izuku, spitting out sand, still sent a chuckle through the hero. The two grabbed some bottles of water and sat down on some nearby steps. As he was recuperating, Izuku decided to ask a question he had been pondering.
All Might, when do you have in mind for me to inherit One for All?
The hero put a hand to his chin.
Well, Izuku, I'm sure you know what is only a few weeks from now.
The sports festival?
Yes, it's a massive event and one that would be perfect for establishing you as a potential new symbol of peace. Any participant in the final round gets massive recognition early in their career. Even if you don't win, which isn't to say I think you can't, you will be catapulted into the eyes of the public.
All right.
My current idea is to give you my power in the weeks immediately before then. It will allow you to introduce it naturally, and hopefully get you to a good point for control. Your limbs may not fly off with your current strength, but it would likely still hurt like hell to use all of my power. Your body isn't quite there yet.
All right, I guess I'll just have to work twice as hard to be ready by then.
That's right, my boy. Now let's get to a couple more laps before we call it quits for today.
Yeah!
A few days later, it was time. The sun was shining, Inka was obsessing, Izuku was anxious, and Yue was waiting. The green-haired boy shot out the door in excitement. Nothing would stop him today, except, of course, accidentally getting lost in the school itself. It took him several minutes to find his way through the veritable labyrinth that was the hallways of UA and locate the very large door to the classroom of 1A. This was it. Hopefully his classmates would be alright.
How dare you disrespect our forebears in this facility? Take your feet off the table at once.
Make me four eyes. Izuku spoke too soon. He sighed, and then opened the door to reveal a still sparsely populated classroom, which unfortunately contained both Katsuki Bakugo and the blue-haired boy from the entrance exam, apparently arguing about Katsuki's habit of putting his feet on the desk.
It's the first day and you're already disrespecting the school's property by scuffing it.
Did your old school have a policy about sticks up your ass, or were you born with this one? Izuku gulped as he was walking towards the two, catching a glimpse at a seating chart that, unfortunately, had him right behind Bakugo.
Let's start over. I am Tenya Ida from Some Academy.
Some, huh? So you must think you're so much better than me with that fancy name? Ha! I'll look forward to tearing you a new one.
You would threaten your own classmate? Are you sure you're in the right place? Wait, it's him!
Oh dear, the blue one noticed Izuku.
Good morning, my name is Tenya Ida. I am from Some Academy.
I heard, Izuku Midoriya, it's good to meet you.
It appears I owe you an apology. I completely misjudged you during the exam.
Huh?
You realized there was something more to the exam, didn't you? When you jumped in to cover that girl with your quirk and save her from the massive gimmick of a robot. I apologize for this. You must be far more perceptive than I, and a far superior student to be able to glean the inner workings of the test.
No, Bakugo's attention was firmly on this conversation.
No, I just saw that she was in danger. I didn't know what anyone would do.
And yet, you were the only one. I and everyone else ran.
That scruffy hair!
Both Midoriya and Ida turned towards a new voice that penetrated their conversation. It was Uraraka, who had appeared during the entrance of a trickling in of other students.
Midoriya! Uraraka, how have you been? Good. I had to move into an apartment to come, but my ankle's been fine. I got into UA, so I'm doing great. That's good. Oh, Uraraka, this is Tenya Ida.
Much obliged.
Nice to meet you. Well, what do you guys think we're going to do today other than orientation? Well, that may have something to do with it.
Izuku pointed, and the two plus Bakugo, who had definitely not been eavesdropping, followed his gesture towards a rather odd caterpillar with a beard and eye bags and a juice packet in his mouth. Oh wait, it's standing up. And it's Aizawa.
If you're here to make friends, you can go straight home. Welcome to UA Hero Course.
The disheveled man got out of his yellow sleeping bag, for that was the caterpillar, and strolled over to the teacher's podium at the front of the class.
It took 8 seconds for you all to shut up and notice me. Rational students would have processed my appearance almost immediately, but you apparently are not that. Time is precious, and we don't have a lot of time to work with.
Who the heck is this guy?
Came a murmur from the back of the class.
I'm Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Now, let's get to it.
From the depths of his sleeping bag of wonders, the tired-looking teacher withdrew a pile of gym outfits. Ew, I don't want to put those on.
Put these on, and meet me at the training ground in 10 minutes.
The students all stared at the very blunt teacher in confusion.
The time starts now.
The students all surged forward to grab the gym uniforms and find the locker rooms. Aizawa just finished his juice inside. It was going to be a long day. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video. So goodbye, and have a divine day.